I don't know if that works. That's fantastic. Okay. I'm pretty pleased about that. Not gonna lie. So I'm here. Hi. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be, wherever what time you are watching this. I'm James. This is the Games Lab stream. I will be sorting some cards today and telling some stories. So hopefully the audio is coming through okay. I've tweaked a few things. In theory, the chat should be kind of where my hand is, and I understand it's a very basic implementation. So I will be trying to fix that up a bit. Couple of things I want to try today is not saying quite so much, and not saying obviously quite so much. That would be great if I could reduce the frequency with which I say both of those things. The reason I immediately say fantastic. The reason I was giggling when I started just now was that as you might have known from last week, I didn't have a good way to I had to run across the room to get the stream started. So I thought that I could get I've got a little like shitty tablet kicking around. Maybe I could get that to control the stream. And then I realized, what if I just it's a potato. Hello. I haven't got your audio intro working yet. So mea culpa. But I will. I'll get there, I promise. And so I was toying around with things. So I think I've taught the bot I taught the bot to do a mic check. So if I say, "Am I on?" Is it going to do it? It's probably not going to do it now. Am I on? No, it's not going to do it now. Fine, bot. Do your own thing. I don't care. You have an audio intro? Yeah, you do. Many moons ago, I remixed, mashed, if you will, the Wiggles song, the mashed banana, hot potato, and made it mashed potato. So it's the Wiggles singing mashed potato. It's only very short, and yeah. Anyway, haha. You do remember that? There you go. It was quite some time ago, so never fear. And I will get it happening again. I'll iron all the kinks out of everything. I was trying to iron some kinks out of the stream the other day, and it goes, "I like feet." Brewer. Hi, Brewers. Hello. Hello. How are you doing? How goes life in the world of Brewer? That's a T card. Go there. I think where we left off, I was going to do some actual hard alphabetizing, which I am not remotely looking forward to. I also am feeling a bit flat today, so my apologies in advance if I am not as scintillating as usual. Lol, out loud. Indeed, I know that I'm usually that scintillating anyway. But all that aside, all that self-deprecative nonsense aside, I'm here. I'm going to do an hour. Rory's home from school today being sick, so that's pretty boring. I don't think she has the big one, but she certainly has something. So that's kind of boring for her and for us. And that's fine. Okay, so what we'll do is stack some of this up. So that should be box 1 and 2 that we finished mostly. Oh no, this is box 2. What's that? I through P. Okay. So this is box 2, that's box 3. So we'll give ourselves some room. We'll make a bit of a stack over here. Brewer, you know the feeling? You're a bit flat today too, my friend? Bit of a shitty place to be, frankly. But in the wins column in the accountability section of every stream, we talk about what we said we were going to do and follow up on whether or not we did it. I needed the chat to appear in the stream, which I have a very basic implementation of, just hopefully here, wherever my hand is going to be, about there. And I will improve that for next week, but at least I've got something. I've remounted the top camera using some very technical equipment. So hopefully we won't get the Tokyo drift from last week where the camera slowly panned this way and you could see the side of the machine and some of my power cords and other nonsense. And I moved the monitor for the stream, so it's directly in front of me next to the camera now, so I don't need to be looking over here to read the chat through my mic arm. I can look directly at you while I read the chat. You enjoyed the drift? Yeah, look, I want to say it's emergent behavior, but it's not. It's simply user error. And it is fun. I would like to be able to show you all some of what's going on down here, rather than try and present our best kind of polished face all the time. Try and show some reality. And yeah, not too much though. I don't want to disappoint you. It seems like I missed a good stream. Look, hey, it'll be back up on YouTube. So if you want to bother going back and watching it, I'm a couple of episodes behind, but I think I know where that slots into my system now. I think anyway, Mash, you did miss one small element of the stream on Monday, which was pretty funny. I'm sitting on milk crates, which you can see now are cable tied together, because on Monday I shifted slightly, lifted up a milk crate and moved across, which lifted the top one off the bottom one, and then when I sat down again, I just fell flat on my ass and laughed and laughed and laughed. I rewatched the footage. I had a stack of cards in my hand when I went down, and the first thing I did was I put them back on the table, like save the cards. That was the main thing. Now this camera isn't straight, which might frustrate / infuriate some of you. Also, the mat's fucking upside down. Ha, that's better. And you can see her. This grody mat's got like coffee stain on it, just kicking around here. So I guess that's another accountability thing. I can make it so that this is actually on the edge of the camera's on the edge of the table. That'll be a nice, easy one for me to do. The other thing I didn't do last week was write down, during the process of the stream, I didn't write down my accountability things. So I didn't have them to refer to. It was all by memory. Cable tie is part of the Holy Trinity. WD-40 and duct tape. Yes, indeedy. What's wrong with not being straight? There's nothing wrong with not being straight. Nothing wrong whatsoever. But there's certainly some alignment, precision. I guess, yeah. Being unstraight is fine. Being wonky, not so sure about that. I've upgraded from precarious to ghetto. Yeah. So I don't know about the word ghetto. I don't know whether it's a word that I ought to be using or avoiding. It's certainly a word that I do use. And perhaps I ought not. I've been giving a lot of thought to language recently. So today we're going to do S's. We're going to do S's because if you have to eat a frog, don't spend too long looking at it. And if you have to eat 3 frogs, don't start with a small one. So we'll be doing S because it's the largest, N-O-P-Q. And we'll be doing at least second lettering all of the S's today. That's my aim. And we'll see how we go from there. So we've got SPs, SQs. Goblin Nabob. That's a fella. Yeah, wasn't sure when it was sorted most of green. It's 3X, the most common letter. It is. Yeah, it's disgusting. Somewhere I have 2 Staff of Nins with World Magic Cup stamps on them that I got from 2... Oh, Speak of the Devil. Look at that. There's a Staff of Nin with an 11 stamped on it. I don't know that that's one of them. I don't think they were numbers. Maybe they were numbers. I can't recall. But I was overseeing a match at the World Magic Cup, the very first World Magic Cup, and 2 players, an Australian fellow that I was familiar with, and another player, both had Staff of Nin in their pool, and were playing off against each other. Pretty lucky, and it was the last round of that. That they were going to need those decks. So as the game wrapped up, I said to them, "Can I mize? LMN. Can I have your cards, please?" And they were both very kind enough to say yes, which I thought was quite sweet of them. Another phrase I've come across: you work for a person named Nin, the pain artist. Is that them? Nin, the pain artist. The phrase I've come across recently that I really like is "closed mouths don't get fed." It's kind of a version of "the squeaky wheel gets the grease." EFGH. Wow, this is kind of scary. I'm getting the body memories kicking in of where to put these things as we go along. Ugh. These are going to be quite large stacks by the time we finish up here. And I know that we've got a long way to go, so I'm going to pace myself and take my sweet ass time. Ass time? I thought they shut that place down. You gave her an in the paint artist? Nice. Nice. When we set up lab, we were around the corner from a Commonwealth Bank, and so it was our local bank. And the woman that we spoke to there about setting up our business bank accounts, her name was Chandra, which we thought was an auspicious sign. And in some ways it was. Spine sliver, spectral sliver. Back soon. Torch of Defiance? I don't know which one it was. Which Chandra she was. She was... I don't know. She didn't think it was very cool, I guess, is what I can say there. I mean, she works for a bank. How exciting can you be? That's not fair. People find themselves in all sorts of walks of life that they don't necessarily pick out of a book. None of us landed exactly where we expected to when we were little. I think I wanted to be a fireman. You know, when you say to kids, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" I think my go-to was fireman. So weird. You're probably not going to be able to see this, right? But these are both Shadow over Innistrad mythics, right? But I mean, these all are, right? But these two are glossy. You're not going to be able to see it. Yeah, no, there you go. You see? 2 of them are glossy and the other ones are matte. Different factories, I guess. Because you can't tell from anything printed on the card, I don't think, whether it was printed in the Japanese factories or the American factories. But the Japanese cards are generally of a higher quality. Much like anything that comes out of America. A little bit lower quality than most things. God, got Spirit of the Labyrinth? Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. Spirit Shackle, Spiritual Sanctuary, Spiteful. Okay, so some of these are semi-sorted already. That's okay. Semi-sort, it's like a semicircle, but different. All right, so that should be, this is all S, which makes me think that the tail end of box, because that's going to be box 4. Hey, you could number them, you know, James. Maybe that'd be easier. Fuck off. Back. Predatory, quick, will, right. Onto spinal line. So this is a very useful tool for running a magic shop. It's an old tournament pack, just a cardboard box, right? But it's full of those glass craft beads, so it's kind of heavy. And then you use it, jam it in the back of a row of cards so that they don't fall over. Hey, gabagool, gabagol. Holy moly. Shamondo. Hey, fella. Good to see ya. Nice to chat in real time rather than in asynchronous chat. Hey, synchronous? Here's a comment for you, Samondo. Ooh, unlimited Savannah Lands. So this has just been kicking around in my head since you told me that news. There are plenty of names. There are so many good names you could have for a shop. Plenty of names. And that is not one of them. Silence, Sigil, Soulfire. Soulfire Grandmaster. Wow. Yeah, I thought you'd like that. SRAM. RST. There's not going to be any SS cards, right? That's a bit of trivia. There's not any SS cards in Magic, are there? Some kind of snake. It's a snake. Unlimited Swords to Plowshares. That's a real card. UVW XYZ. Saheeli. Samet Sarkin. It's good to go with something decisive. Yeah, specific, right? I thought about doing a little video of like reviewing the names of all of the stores in Melbourne, or like just game stores in general. They're just so bad. Even the ones that went to the trouble of renaming, like, so Let's Play Games, bless them, lovely people. What a terrible name for a distribution company. It's just not good. Like, they were going to go with some kind of like Dragon's Horde type feel of we've got everything you could possibly want type. Liquid petroleum gas. Yeah. Like, consider what your kid's name is going to be abbreviated to. You know, don't just go out there. ST. Storm's Wrath, Storm Breath. Like, I think for a distribution company, some kind of name that suggests that you've got all the stuff, you know, Treasure Trove Games, Treasure Trove Gaming Supplies, Dragon's Horde Supplies. Something like that lets people know that you want it, I got it. Melma Mangia Carogne. Melma Melma. Scavenging Ooze. Scavenging Ooze Promo. Scavenging. Set us on shifting. Oh! Someone got. Was it? No, no. Simondo. Did you use the S word? What are you saying that's getting you timed out? What are you saying? IJK. LMN. No. I don't think I can see deleted messages from where I am. I have to go to the other machine to check it out. You got botted. You got botted. The stupid bot claims another scalp. God, claiming scalps, that's probably racist too. That's probably not something I want to say anymore. Gotta find another way to say that. Another notch on the bed, notch on the belt, notch on the bed frame. I'm keen to know what you did say though. So if you can say it without apologizing. Got sinkholes? Shadow's verdict. Skemfar Avenger. EFGHIJK. Shot down in a blaze of glory. Don't sing, James. Why not? Don't dull my sparkle. Fuck. They're all R's, RDRR, and these are all S's. Okay. Oh, I was saying I'm working from home. So my response is because customers are cussing. Oh, God, you poor bean. Customers. Oh, that's one thing I need to do. I need to make the bot put a time delay on that one, so that it doesn't just spam them all at once. And I want to try and teach it to choose a random one each time, so that it's less predictable, I guess. Hey, Null. A null by any other name would smell as sweet. Busted out some Shakespeare this morning. A little bit of but soft. What light through yonder window breaks. What's this? A 7th edition foil Shivan? It is the moon. No, wait. So what light through yonder window breaks. It is the moon. Yeah, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief. Shock. Densely the Denzel version of Macbeth. Oh man, these Germans don't muck about with their card names, do they? They're different cards, James. You freaking idiot. There we go. Those Germans don't muck about with their card names, do they? Scab Clan Berserker. East Dawn. I think one of the Coen brothers do it. So I'm really mixed on the Coen brothers. I'm kind of torn on them. I know they're supposed to be great, and I think I've only really enjoyed. I mean, Oh Brother Where Art Thou was kind of like a fun romp, but like it was okay. The is it Raising Arizona? Is that Nicolas Cage? Is that even Coen brothers? Am I talking about the right people? Was really tiresome. It's okay to be wrong. Like I don't think we got more than about half an hour into Raising Arizona. So it's okay to be wrong. What should I be watching then? Which of theirs is like the slam dunk? This'll convert you. You clearly don't understand the majesty and wonder that is the brothers Cohen. It's okay to be wrong. Fargo. Okay, all right. Fargo is fucking brilliant. Yeah, okay. But was that their one hit wonder for me? Like, was that their one movie that like that I don't know that fit me? I don't know the answer. It is the East and Juliet is the dawn. Oh, nice one. Thanks, Null. But soft what light through yonder window breaks. It is the East and Juliet is the dawn. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon who is already sick and pale with grief. This is too poetic for my complex mind. Nah. It's only Shakespeare. Shakespeare was written for the common person. Alright, so I'm going to just whack these SPs over here so that I don't knock them over with my grandiose gestures. Stolen goods, soul ring, more swords to plowshares. Can't have enough of those. Get them while they're hot, get them while they're buttered. Sigil or sigil? I am awfully uncommon. Just the right amount of uncommon. Alright, this is definitely slowing down now. Having to think about things. It's ridiculous. Staff, smothering. Smother? What are you? Snaps. Snap game. IJK. Probably can't have enough Sun Titans either. That seems like a card that we could never sell enough of. Steam Flogger Boss. Fly me. Oh, more Selfless Savers. Shamanic. Shaman. Scrap Heap Sakura. Awfully uncommon. Nothing awful about your uncommonness. Lean into it. Lean in. So I played a little bit more. That's a Sorcerous Spyglass as well, right? I played a little bit more Monster Train this week, which has been cool. I'm on level 24 now. I still haven't. Oh, actually, I might be on. Actually, I think I finished it on 24, so I'm on level 25 now. And yeah, I've given myself the restriction of trying to finish it once with each of the pairs. I guess they're color pairs, right? Really, the guilds or whatever you want to call them. SLM. Sakura Tribe-Elder, what a classic. What an absolute classic. H. Saproling Sabertooth. Invasion rares. What am I playing? Monster Train. at the moment. I'm playing some Monster Train. Not really waiting for anything other than for my real life to begin. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I play it too quickly, and you know when you have drafted a bunch of times and you've made a decision about two picks you commonly have to choose between, and you're like, B is better than A, straight up. So rather than continue to think about that decision-making process, whenever you're faced with those two choices, you simply just pick B automatically. I think too often I neglect to recheck those assumptions as the game develops or as the deck that I'm building develops. So I think that's another one of my areas in which I can improve to try and get gooder. Chris got me to play the Pokemon TCG. Hey, being terrible at something is the first step to being kind of okay at something. We all start off terrible. There's no babies that know how to do, slate roofing. At least that gives it depth. Yeah, it does. It does have depth and replayability, and there are a lot of archetypes. There are a lot of different archetypes. So having noticed that I was falling into the trap of trusting previous decision-making process, that's a Sewers of Estark. Look at that. It's an honest-to-God book promo. There you go. Yeah, having noticed that I was falling into that trap, I think I've not overcorrected, but I have started playing some wildly different archetypes in an attempt to understand a little bit more. Hopefully we find a badger soon, right? Oh, we're not in badger territory right now. Can't stop here. This is badger territory. Oh, Stang got a reprint? Bizarre. I would have put money on Stang being on the reserved list. And I would clearly have lost that money. So Sim, you've been watching some poker streams. That's cool. Brad Owen's alright. I do not care for Doug Polk. He strikes me as a slimy and reprehensible human being. Slimy and reprehensible. Scrap heap. BDC! Hey, Ben Cortina. Hello, Ben Cortina. How goes it? How was your geography lesson this morning? K. K goes before L. Thesis. Aha, okay. I haven't programmed the new bot with Thesis. But he's nearly finished, right? He's super close to being a doctor. So proud. So proud. Been working so hard for so long. He really, really does deserve all of the praise. search for tomorrow? Seeker Smuggler. Sunforger. 6:30 a.m. Yeah. I mean, it's cute. It's one of the, like, yeah, my kids have got a couple of habits that I can't wait for them to grow out of. But at the same time, like, you don't want to quash it. You don't want them to like rush through that stage. Like, what's a good example? Like being clambered all over, right? Like sometimes I just need some space, but when they're clambering all over me, it's like, this isn't going to last forever. They're, you know, so quickly we're going to come up on the moments of they don't want to be anywhere near me. They don't want to know me. And I guess that's going to break my heart. So I kind of want to keep that at bay for as long as possible. You know, she's going to turn 10 this year, right? He's starting to think about the future. He said to me, after I turn 4, will I turn 5? And it's like, just slow down, kid. Just mind yourself. Swads. Yeah, exactly. Enjoy it for as long as possible. Don't wish your life away. Don't let them wish their lives away. I mean, it's pretty cute. He often says that he doesn't want to grow up. He wants to stay little, which is pretty cute. It's pretty cute. So many cards. But we're doing the most. We're doing the most. We're doing the S. Oh, no, this is my SPs I put over here for a reason. Durfred. I was like, all right, how many of these have I got? Right, no, that's not an unsorted pile. That's an okay pile. It can sit there. All gonna be okay. Stuffy Slippery Sakura. Sungrass Sigil. But what else have I been thinking about recently? I came across a name for a process that I kind of informally do already. So, in order to kind of trick myself into doing things, I often will find I will think about things that let's say there's a task that I don't want to do, like the dishes. I saw some information the other day that suggested that perhaps there are people with some forms of executive dysfunction that get a dopamine hit from avoiding a task rather than completing a task. And one of the ways to get around that is to position the task, like doing the dishes, as avoiding another task. So you find another task that you don't want to do, like calling your mum. And you're like, look, I'll call my mum after I do the dishes. I'll do the dishes first. And that way I can put off doing this other task. And then you get like a kind of an emotional pat on the back for avoiding the task that you don't want to do by doing a task that you don't want to do slightly less than the other task that you, right? Does that make any sense at all? And so this person referred to that as, now I'm not going to be able to remember the phrase, reverse priority list. Yeah. Anyway, it's something that I've seen myself do previously, where I will do something that I'm not remotely interested in doing simply so that I can avoid doing something that I really, 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 really don't want to do. Like I went and got a full body skin check once. Like a mole check, which was hideous, and I absolutely didn't want to do it. But the task that I really didn't want to do was worse than that. So if you can imagine, just how bad that actual task was. Lovely weather. It has been lovely weather too. The winter is nearly here, and it's going to be a hard one, I'd say. It's like 15 degrees today. So it is definitely feeling cold and miserable. But it's some of the weather that I really like. Not necessarily the miserable part, but I guess that's all in how... Weather's only miserable if you're not dressed for it, right? This isn't actually too bad. Being slightly away from the edge means I can lean a little bit, and maybe I don't need to pull it all the way back. And I've also been thinking that this setup is, I think, closer to what I would like it to be in the kind of medium term. Like, once the cards are sorted, I'd like to be doing some, like... I want to do, like, toy reviews. I want to unbox toys and talk about toys, and so have the shelving behind me be far more interesting things than the sides of just commodified product and boring shrink-wrapped board games. And then in front here, we can unbox things and talk about them and show them off a little bit. And I feel like that'll be a little bit more engaging than fiddly bits of cardboard that you can, like, unless you're quite familiar with the game, you're not going to be able to tell that that's a Siege Gang commander, right? Just from the artwork. I mean, you guys will, because you know stuff and you're clever. A bit nibbly, yes. Yep. Red wine weather. The weather for reading a book in front of an open fire weather. All right, if we could just have them all be swords to plowshares, that would be great. Oh, and soul rings. That's fine. Soul rings are fine. I'm happy to have as many soul rings as we can shake a stick at. Shambling. Everything's in shambles. You don't know stuff. You know plenty. You might not know this stuff, but you know plenty. So don't sell yourself too short. There's another streamer that I like watching, whose name is Panga, and he does Mario streams. He's very, very good at Mario. Like, he's not like... I was gonna say he's not Olympic level Mario, but he'd be a contender for sure. Some of the stuff he pulls off is pretty phenomenal. But he's quite personable, and it's been nice over the last kind of 2 years to watch him really grow into streaming. Like, he doesn't interact with chat very much. But he's like an accomplished musician, and he's got like perfect pitch, and so like when he lands on a note block, he can tell you what note it is. Crazy. Just people with those kind of skills always astound me. It's one of those I'm saying again. It's one of those displays of excellence things where watching someone who's very good at what they do the thing that they do, it's hard to go wrong, regardless of what they're doing. Like Simondo put on the Sushi Dragon guy was confusing and infuriating. Wow, okay. Expand on that. I'm curious to know what led you to that kind of reaction. Simondo sent me a link some time ago to a guy who cleared out culverts. Like, he would explore his surroundings, and when there was like a flooded drain, like in the I can say forest, but like in wooded areas, not in like urban areas. And it was compelling viewing. His audio was great. He had stories to tell. He knew what he was doing and was good at it. It was, yeah. You know, and it's not my bag. I didn't necessarily go out and subscribe to his channel or anything, but it was a nice distraction. It was another piece in the puzzle of quality, knowledgeable people doing things with precision and excellence. And I think there's space for more of that in this world. Sushi Dragon Guy is confusing and infuriating. Infuriating is a big word. That reminds me of like a foot stompy type of. I've no idea what he's doing, and I couldn't stop watching. And how does anyone have that much money to spend on their Twitch? Okay, yes. Okay, now I see where you're coming from. Totally agree. Having like that whole warehouse devoted to just kind of fucking around, and like he had some friends just in the background and dogs and like the electric go-karts and all sorts of things. Watching people do things they're amazing at is fantastic. Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree. And why have I got smuggler? Oh, because I put these on the N pile. Snuff out. There we go. So I'm clearly not that, as I have to fix another one of my mistakes. Scattering sheltered. But we hope to continue to. It's a real sort of fire and ice. Like the brown foil swords were hot. Mwah. Just chef's kiss. Epi de Tenebra et... Oh, look, speak of the devil. The French know a thing or two about card names too. When the card name's so long, they need to change the size of the font. That's what I'm about. Serum powder. Someone was here the other day asking about Shocklands, so there's some Sacred Foundries for you. Shelldock Isle. So Null, yeah, I guess like it's only something like it's fewer than 1% of people streaming who make any money from it, and of those, like it's only 1% of those who make like a living off it. So it's very few, but I think Sushi Dragon is one of them, where they've been doing it for long enough and have attracted enough of their niche following that I mean, I don't know, maybe he's a trust fund baby. Stamped foil steam vents, that's pretty hot. Stamped foil stomping grounds, pretty hot. Japanese strip mines, pretty hot. Not gonna lie, I would. Sunken Swarm Yard. Safi Eriksdotter. Silas Wren is different to Wren the doggy dog. It's a doggy dog world. Sliver. So thank you all. When given the opportunity to watch someone who is excellent do the thing that they are excellent at, you've chosen to watch me. So I appreciate you. And I'm not sure how I can use that. So the trick I was talking about before about not wanting to do something and how to fool myself. I'm excellent at making me feel better. Duh. That's adorable. Thank you. I'm not sure how to use that mechanic or a similar one to trick myself into setting up Patreon or setting up some way in which I can kind of permit. Is permit the right word? But some way I can open the door to people who want to, support this nonsense. The nonsense being me. Yeah, I don't know quite how to get over my internal reservations. But I'm working at it. I'm chipping away at it. And I think so I made a thing this morning, right? So one of the things I set myself a little goal to do, like, I can list off the things I didn't do this morning. I didn't check the store orders to see if we've sold anything so I can send it out. I didn't check my emails to see if there's anything important that I need to deal with. I didn't do any of that outside world stuff. Just put your PayPal link on the screen for now. Pay literal scam artists a fortune for nothing. You're worth more than those scam artists. Thank you. Yeah, I am. Sweet gum recluse. What's that line about? If you could believe your ex wasn't a piece of shit for 2 years, you can believe in yourself for 5 minutes. And yeah, I think setting the bar at I'm better than a call center scammer or something like that. I feel like that's probably a line I can agree with strongly enough and for long enough to do something about it. Oh, crack. So we'll start there. What was I saying about that? Excellence and self. Oh yeah, I made a thing, right? So I set myself this goal of just make something. And I really like hexagons. So there's something about me. And I cut out that's cool. Sakashima, Legend partner, commanders, Sakashima. So I made a thing. So I feel like the hurdle or the yardstick or the benchmark that I kind of want to get myself over is having something physical that I can send to people that are supporters. And I guess that's why I touched on maybe doing like pack cracking and giving supporters a number of those each time period and sending them out, something like that, some kind of interactive thing. I thought too, along with the box cracking, I remembered an idea that I saw some time ago where you basically have a March Madness playoff bracket with a bunch of boosters and number them all, and have the boosters battle each other. Signed photo. You want a headshot? No. HIJK. Having them battle. So, in the quarterfinals, you have 2 packs, open them up against each other, see which one's worth more. And people can wager on which one's going to get through. So I guess what would have to be, it'd have to be like a stack of 4 boosters, one for each of the battles that they have to get through. Booster battling is super fun. Sort of like Pack Wars, but just purely from an open them up and which pack is worth more money type point of view. So it would really just be an excuse to open boosters. But it would be kind of fun to watch. And if you got people to back each of the runners, then the winner would get everything at the end of it. something like that, something silly, something OTT. And it wouldn't need to be something we did more than once, but yeah, I feel like I'd have to write that down for it to make any sort of sense. Okay. Sky Cats. But I feel like there are ways that we can do entertaining things that are enjoyable and engrossing and are what am I trying to say? Like just fun to watch, right? Because I'm aware that unless there is some kind of narrative thread, there's not really any reason for anyone to want to go back and watch like old streams, right? So unless I like edit some kind of story together or figure out some kind of episodic reason to check back in, no one's going to go back and find them again. A draft simulation. I could do a draft once upon a time I might have been able to do a draft simulation. I don't have the knowledge anymore. I not playing, like Rick was suggesting the other day that as I sort cards, suggesting what kind of commander deck they might go in and what have you. I simply don't have that knowledge. I would be making it up, which would become very apparent very quickly and be very boring. So yeah, like once upon a time I drafted enough to be able to do something like that. There we go. This is what I wanted. Just all Swords to Plowshares all the time. Just keep on going. Wonder if we've got any of those Ice Age ones. Doubt it. Doubt it. Swords. There you go. Nice. 3/4 of an inch of Swords to Plowshares. It's what you love to see. Sig. Okay, so I've got one big row of S left to go. And then that's going to be all of the S's second lettered. And that might be where I leave you once I've got those under my belt. Have I told you the under the belt story? So one Christmas we were at my wife's grandfather's house and he was, reclining, drinking a beer, being taken care of. And I noticed that when he would open a beer, he'd take the bottle top and he would tuck it under his belt, like between his pants and his belt. And I asked him what he was doing, and he kind of, pulled up his shirt a little bit so he could show me his belt. And he said that it meant that he could run his finger along the bottom of his belt and count how many drinks he'd had. And I was like, that's amazing. And then the penny dropped for me, and the phrase, "Oh mate, he's got a few under the belt," just made sense to me. It's like it's a literal phrase. It means that guy's had a few drinks. He's got a few under the belt. And this is a guy like Wojtek was from Eastern Europe. He was from Poland. And just mind blown. Language is such a wonderful thing. Language is such a wonderful thing. And like without that little moment, I would have gone my whole life using the phrase under the belt, but never understanding like where it came from and what the significance was. And when Wojtek passed away, I asked if I could have his bottle opener. Partially to kind of remember that story, and also because it's a sick bottle opener. It's a simple piece of steel made in England. That he probably it's probably not special. Like to him or to anyone. Like he got it. He would have got it. He was a massive garage sailor, massive op shop person. I would describe it as fully sick. Silhouette. It's a nice card. Foglio artwork. Folio. More sinkholes. But yeah, it's a neat little bottle opener. When I was drinking, it was my go-to for opening bottles. And on the rare occasion I get to pop a bottle nowadays, it's the one I look for. Kato bought a very fancy waiter's friend the other day. She bought a bottle of wine and it turned out that we didn't have a my camera's freaking out? Oh, gross. Yeah, okay. Oh, I wonder what's going on there. Are you okay, Mr. Camera? Is it hot? No, it's definitely not hot. It's freezing in here. I've still got my hoodie on. Is it better now? The camera's going through the network to the other computer. And maybe something's messing up there. No, it doesn't feel warm. Moment. Don't know. Don't know the answer. Maybe it's telling me that I've been doing this for an hour and it's out of patience with me too. Snuff outs. That's what we're after. Soul rings. Soul rings from here till Christendom. So, let me think. We'll be back on Friday. I'll try and remember all the things I added to our accountability list for improving the stream for next time. And yes, honestly hasn't been too bad. I mean, that's part of the joy of starting with the big frog, is that once you kind of break the back of it, it's all... I love the phrase, it's all downhill from here. It's because it can mean either everything gets worse from here or it's going to be easy going from here on out. What a language. What a language. Serum visions. Stifles. What did I trade for those stifles? I remember trading for them. After an event somewhere in Japan, almost certainly. Trading with Japanese judges was always great because everyone got a good deal. The Japanese judges got English cards, English judges got Japanese cards. Everyone was happy. Luxury cardboard rectangle collector. Godfather Al. Good to see you, good to see you, good to see you. I checked out that medication name you sent me through the other day. I knew it better off as... I knew it as Lexapro rather than the official name that you sent through. But yeah, it's an SSRI, which is a good thing. SSRIs. I love that our brains soak the serotonin up too fast, and so we have a serotonin reuptake inhibitor to help us, like, to help the serotonin slosh around for a bit longer, so that we can, you know, enjoy it before it gets just soaked back up again. How often does a bi-monthly event occur? Yeah, exactly. Bi-weekly? Yeah, it's both So bi-monthly is both every 2 weeks and every 2 months because English. So bi-weekly and bi-monthly mean the same thing when you're saying they happen every 2 weeks, right? Or roughly the same, because 2 weekly doesn't necessarily mean twice a month. Yeah. It's a Dimitri Martin joke about whenever something happens to me, I wait 2 weeks to tell people about it because I like saying fortnight. He's no Mitch Hedberg, but he's pretty cool, that guy. Seraph. Spinks? Spinks. Spark double. Oh, big stretch. Might do that. Grab all of these. And then that's the end. These 2 stacks, once we've second lettered these 2 stacks. So what else do I need to do? I need to change the lighting so that we don't get this glare off the cards like that. So I'll probably put a diffuser over this light that's directly above, and I'll introduce some side lighting as well to try and improve the professionalistication. Snuff Out is solid. Definitely a real card. It's no snow-covered forest. Or the forest logo one, that's nearly completely washed out. Mountains, they're only the new mountains though, Ben. So I'll keep my eyes peeled for the old mountains. But they really ought to have been in the drawer where I looked. And if they weren't there, then I guess they'll just be somewhere else. I'll take some of these STs off before I knock those over as well. Might add to my SP pile over there. Sudden Sulfuric. Sulfuric Vortex, that's another card I like playing. We're all gonna die. Sungrass, Sunken Steel. Side eye lighting. Yeah, a little bit of profile light and just really helps to lift the look of the stream. And I've got some shitty lights kicking around, so it won't be too onerous. And now that I've got the backbone of the streaming setup where I kind of want it, that means that adding extra elements to it won't be too bad. Like I've already run power over to this corner, for example. So that won't be a deal breaker. Or a Sage of Latnam. Whoa. Latnam. Extra elements like a chair. I know you own chairs. I don't own chairs that would work for this particular job, though. I don't think. Like I've got a stool, but it's noisy. I know you own chairs. It's true. I do. I have been known to chair from time to time. Scarwood goblins. Scarwood goblins. I remember selling. We had a box of the Dark on the shelf for ages. It was shop fittings more than stock, right? It's a kind of the stock that you have that you're not expecting to ever sell, but it's something that people like to look at and talk about, and the fact that you have it is kind of neat. But when we went to the first PAX, that's shambling vent, right? When we went to the first PAX, the very first day, we were just overwhelmed, absolutely overwhelmed. We sold basically every single thing we brought to PAX. And so on the second day of PAX, we pulled the van up at the shop, and I just said, just grab whatever you can. Just grab anything, everything. We'll just load it into the van, and we'll just try and set up because the stall was ravaged. The stall had nothing left on it after the first day, and there were 3 days, right? So like 2.5 days. So there's still 60% of the con to get through, and we had no stock. So we just rifled through the store and grabbed whatever we could. And we got to PAX and we started setting up. And then my business partner called me and he said, "Hey, I'm at the shop. I think we've been robbed." And I laughed and laughed. I'm like, we have, but it was by us. Don't worry. So he'd got in. The place was in just empty of stock, and he's like, "We've been robbed." I'm like, no, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Just pretty funny. So anyway, we ended up selling like this box of the dark. Like someone's like, "How much is that?" And I told them, and they're like, "Yep." We're like, we're going to be on PAX this year. We don't go to PAX anymore. I want to say burnt that bridge, but PAX, the people that run PAX in Australia are dog shit. They are not good at their jobs, and they'll tell whatever lies they need to tell to get you to pay the exorbitant amount of money that they ask to have a stall there. And it got to the point for us where the amount of stock and employees and other things that we need to pay for to get them into PAX to then sell to break even was just to break even was too much work. And when you're dealing with like commodity items like board games, so me and the other 5 vendors all had exactly the same stock. Like, what's your point of difference at that point? It's too hard. And when the people that ran PAX told us that wasn't going to happen, and then they would do things about it and yada yada, and then proceeded to not, and then I called them out on it, and yeah, it was not a good time for the Empire. Let's just say that. So no, short version, we don't do PAX. And even if I think even if I wanted to, that's an SV card. That's pretty annoying. You are by yourself along with this one SZ card. I just couldn't do it. Even if I wanted to, I don't think I could do it. I would, yeah. Too difficult, too hard, too expensive. Not worth it. Emotionally, not worth it from a business point of view. Good luck to anyone who is still dealing with, God, what are they called? Reed Entertainment. Race to the bottom. Yeah, yep. No, PAX, only PAX. Yep. Have you guys seen Serenity? That line about, "Oh, it's the PAX." Yeah, the inevitable return of the Great White Dope. PAX would be good. So I've second lettered S, and I am gonna call it there. I think. Time for some lunch. Time to check in on my eldest, who is sick in bed, and I will check in with all of you on Friday. Yeah. Thank you for joining me as always. And stay hydrated, stay warm, positive of mind and negative of COVID would be good. What we want. See you at the fight. Thanks, Samondo. Thanks, Bruins. Thanks, BDC. Thank you, Null. Thank you, Godfather. Thank you, Mashed Potato. And everyone else who's watching, lurking in chat. Feel free to say hi. We don't bite. There I go, saying again. All right, I'm gonna bounce. I'll see you soon. I have to run across the room.